As I said, let's kick off with that US confidence number. We saw the market coming under pressure. It has subsequently reversed those losses. We're now back in positive territory on the international front, but we took a whack on the back of those international markets being lower when we closed.
Yeah, Bronwyn, and understandably so. I mean, the consumer confidence, and listening to Jeff there as well, that the American consumer is such an integral part of the world economy. Accounts for close on 3/4 of GDP growth in America. What we found interesting is, and everyone's been watching this unemployment rate growing month by month, close on 10%. Is that how confident does a consumer feel losing his job? So it's quite a balancing act this week, and I think that consumer confidence number, I think the 4th month in a row, hot on the heels of another bad one last, dipping below 50. It certainly shows how in the balance the US economy really is.
As Jeff says, all eyes on that GDP number out of the US come Thursday. Is it a key indicator for you?
It's a big number, and it's a big month. Traditionally October, very volatile months. People have long memories back to the 80s. It's going to be volatile. If you saw UK GDP, which Jeff mentioned there, unexpectedly they're expecting a rise of 0.2, came in negative 0.4. So certainly UK not growing. Besides France and Germany, Europe looking a bit stagnant. What you don't want to see is the American GDP coming in flat or no growth at all, because then it's really going to put the spook into the markets.
How much pressure could it put on the markets? Worst case scenario, if we see that GDP figure coming in flat? It's
going to have a big effect. And we've seen the S&Ps running close on 68-70% from its lows in March, in the space of 9 months. Not unexpected. This is what should happen when we come out of massive crashes, certainly in the last 7 years. You expect 50-60% bounces. But this will certainly question how the stimulus package is working. We had those cash for clunkers, that's run out. We had tax rebates, that's run out.
Well, that's the big concern. There is no more stimulus at the moment in any of these global economies.
The Americans have thrown a couple of $1 trillion at the problem. There's rumours now of Bank of America having to have a rights issue, having to raise $42-43 billion to pay back its TARP money. So we're getting very much near the end of what more can you throw at the problem right now? And at the moment,
they're running left to throw at the problem.
Well, precisely, Brian. I think they're running out of ideas.
Moving to the local environment, we've got the gold quarterlies out this week, kicking off with the gold fields coming out on Thursday. Those are first quarter results. We've then got Anglo Gold Ashanti due out with third quarter results on Friday, and so too Harmony. No surprise that the stronger rand has had a significant impact, detrimental impact on these gold companies.
Without a doubt. And I would certainly add, I think a lot of people are underestimating how big an effect it's had. They would have been relieved to see the rand a bit weaker today, but how it's going to affect those quarterlies. I mean, the likes of Harmony, which has majority of pretty much all its production onshore. Anglo Gold, Goldfields might have escaped it a little bit, but it's going to have a huge impact. I mean, that rand is, when you think about where Kruger rands were trading at 10,000 rand not so long ago, gold price through 1,000, they're trading at 8, just shows how much that rand is actually appreciated against the dollar and what an effect it's had on gold.
Trading update out from Massmart today, and they're forecasting tougher times ahead. Massmart, something of a darling in the market.
Yeah, credit retail. One of the guys at these cash retailers has certainly, we've spoken about on your show a few times, really done well out of the buying down scenario that the consumer in South Africa has had. But it's certainly warning, and I think alarm bells there as well. We've been dragged higher with international markets. Maybe we shouldn't be as high as we are. Maybe we shouldn't be sitting at close to 27,000 on the all share. GDP numbers, we watch what we're coming out with a mini budget today as well. We're not expecting growth to bounce back till sort of the middle of next year. So I think a bit of word of caution, and I hate being a big bad bear on your show, but just a little bit of caution needed.
Having examined the verbiage out of the medium-term budget, anything that stood out for you from a market's perspective?
Yeah, I thought the pretty much getting rid of the exchange controls, up from 50 to 500 million rand for small businesses, effectively does away in that space of exchange controls at all. I think that's quite rand positive. Obviously, the deficit's going to weigh on that. But long term, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of strengthening of the rand in the back. I think it's quite well received. We're struggling like everyone else. But in line with third world, probably not too far away from, but encouraging all around.
Are you concerned about former Finance Minister Trevor Manuel seemingly being sidelined in this reshuffle of cabinet?
I think it's a worry. I mean, he is a sort of a very much a darling of the markets, but I mean, don't forget he was very much consultant, very much left-wing when he joined, and then when he first joined, everyone was up in arms about it as well. But I think I would have liked to see Pravin Gordhan being more much of his own man. He's trying to enforce that he is. Where that leaves Manuel in this whole planning committee, I'm not sure.
We are down 1.5% on the local market today, as I said, taking a cue from those international markets coming under pressure earlier, although they seem to have recovered now. What can we expect for the rest of the week? Do you think we're in for a period of volatility?
I think we're in for extreme volatility. We had 7 up days in a row, apart from today. This is our first down day out of 7. It's been a very good month. I think at the start of the month, the top 40 was trading just shy of 22,000. We're now trading about 24,000. So we've actually done very well for a notoriously tough month. We've done well. A lot of it dragged higher by Anglo-American. A lot of upgrades on our mining stocks. I think the key for me, Bronwyn, is the euro dollar. Sitting at what was at 150 yesterday, now sitting down near 148. The S&Ps, the foreign markets, tracking that tick for tick. Every single time the dollar is strengthening, it's putting pressure on the market. So I think every month there's always another flavour of the month, whether it's gold last month or oil. It now appears to be what this dollar is going to do.
What are your currency strategists saying about the dollar right now?
Well, looking at a few of them, we think it's going to strengthen temporarily. You could probably touch 144, 145 before it continues to weaken. I mean, fundamentally, the dollar needs to weaken out towards probably 160, but short term, it's not. Everyone thought it was a one-way bet, but I don't think it is.